down the road, follow the white line.
Welcome back. In case you are just joining us, you're looking at the National Alliance weekly television program. Earlier this evening, we had number 17 candidate, Mr. Leroy Lapé, and now it is my pleasure to welcome to the program one of our candidates who is also contesting elections for the first time in St. Martin. He is definitely no newcomer to St. Martin, to the political arena in the sense of a candidate, but definitely not new to politics. I'm speaking to none other than Arthur Lugisse. Arthur, welcome to the program. It's a pleasure having you. And the first question, of course, on the minds of all the people in St. Martin is, Arthur, why politics, why now, and why the National Alliance?
Well, first I would like to thank you for the opportunity, not only to be on the program now, but also to be the part of the Alliance. I'd also like to say good evening to the listeners out there, and hope when we are finished, you'll realize there's only one place to go, is National Alliance. Now you ask me, why National Alliance? Well, as my leader, I have been in several areas that you were prominent, and I'll go back a few years. Me and you contested something in St. Martin that a lot of people can remember, if they can rewind the video, is volleyball. You were the man for Autumn Boys, and I was the man for High End Boys. You beat me, I beat you, but you were the better one because you became champ. Secondly, I have had the opportunity to represent St. Martin and St. Martin students in Tallahassee, Florida. I have worked for every government, for every education department head, and for me, you were the one that made a difference for me in Tallahassee. You came and you opened an office for me with the intention of continuing what you planned to do, was to support students to get a better education. At the end, surprisingly, that was short-lived because government changed and there was nothing that we could have done. And after I realized I spent 12 months in Tallahassee without pay, and then 10 months without pay, I decided to come back home. If I decide to come back home, I got to do something. And my interest was built into doing something for the island of St. Martin, not only the students, but the people of St. Martin. And I realized I've been outside looking in, and now I wanted to get inside looking out. And I made up my mind after speaking to my wife and family, and they said, look, you have the passion, you have been around politics. I used to be the one that printed t-shirts for all the politicians, so I know what goes on in politics. And I think with my local, regional, and international connection, I can bring a lot to St. Martin, and I'm the man for the job. And there's no other party that I would be with but National Alliance. And again, I must thank you for giving me that opportunity.
Thank you, Arthur. That's indeed an impressive resume, so to speak, about some of the things that you've done. But people have grown to know you in the past years, particularly the students, for your work in Tallahassee. One of the most important things I think you need to probably explain some more to the public is your involvement in making it possible for students from St. Martin to study for what they call the in-state tuition. Explain exactly what it is all about.
Well, basically what happened is when we signed the initial agreement with the government of Tallahassee, we were presented an opportunity to be able to highlight the education component of what we would do as a partnership. We are part of Sister City International, and Sister City International is an organization that transcends globally. Most people never understood what it was. I must say I had some good mentors around me in the persons of Bernard Hunt and Diane Fleming, and I can even say Oswald Francis and Charlie Myers, who was the arm of the chamber at the time. Their support made it possible for me. But when I went to Tallahassee, I was accepted by some people in Tallahassee that runs the city, which is Anita Favors, the city manager, the mayor, John Max, Ben Harris. I mean, those were people that saw something in St. Martin. And I would like to say at the beginning, it wasn't Arturo that made the difference. It was St. Martin. Everywhere you go in Florida, everybody wants to come to St. Martin. They love St. Martin. Some have been there before. So what I was able to do is to follow the process of government in Tallahassee. Every session, whether at the Senate or the House, I was there. I make sure that I educate myself in the field of government development, the opportunities that are available for people to entice government to do things, which they did at City Hall, where they would have town hall meetings, which gives the people an opportunity to voice their opinion on any development in the city, which is something I would like to bring to St. Martin. What we are here to do when it comes to institution, we have realized that in the past that you would have to be a student with a Dutch passport that would have to be able to get study financing from study financing. The opportunity now is that even if study financing doesn't give you institution, because of what Tallahassee St. Martin Foundation have put in place, we can also entertain, and we have done it in the past, not even only for St. Martin, for Trinidad and the Bahamas, where we were able to get students at institution to go to schools in Florida.
Now, you are the expert, so to speak, where that is concerned, and many of us understand when you say in-state tuition. But explain to the viewers who cannot break it down in dollars and cents, what does that really translate to when a student gets the opportunity to study making use of the in-state tuition?
Basically, if you talk about in-state, you're talking about 1/3 of what out-of-state would be. And it's a privilege for St. Martin because the student that come from the United States in any other area like New York, they pay out of state. They are not paying in state. So if I would even give it a figure, let's say you pay 15,000 in state, you would have to maybe pay 36,000+. When I calculated for the past years, we have saved government over $22 million in in-state tuition based on the fact that they are not paying out of state. So for me, I think it's a positive thing, not only for what has happened in the past, but what can happen in the future. Because many youths of St. Martin today that went to Tallahassee are gainfully employed in St. Martin. The only problem I have with it, some of them were victimized because of their political position, not only them, but their parents. So today they have walked around St. Martin for 2 years or more, and even when they get a job, it's not in the field of study, and we need to change that. And one of the things I think you, as a former head of a school where education is also your platform, I can say when you came to Tallahassee, we were able to sign agreements with other schools that when you came back to St. Martin after signing with Lively, you were not even able to put anything in place because government wasn't there no more to support. It changed. And I think that is one of the things that also motivate me. If I have someone that supports me in doing things in the interest of St. Martin, I think I have to support that individual or that party to do so. I went to pick up t-shirts yesterday by Setu, and Theo was there. And after I told Theo my conviction with the NA, he said, Arturo, you know, you're right, I understand you. So I figure most people on the outside that are realizing that, one, it's all what's in it for our people. And I will not use the word us. What's in it for our people. If we tend to do anything for St. Martin, we need to look at what's in it for the people so we can make things happen in a positive manner. Because at the end of the day, we are creating what we would call a legacy that people would be able to tell us, you know something, my great-grandchild today have an opportunity because it was created by XXX. But I'll tell you something about you. Several times I've been in your office and I've heard you made a statement, and that statement stays with me. You always tell me, Arturo, I am not going to jail for nobody. It means you're not taking money from no one, that tomorrow when they come and ask you to do something illegally, that you're going to do it because you took money from them. And that is one of my motivations in being part of your organization. And I'll tell you, I'm going to give this 110%. We cannot fail, and we're going to be in government on the 29th of August.
You've been on the campaign trail for several weeks, and in essence, several months now. What are some of the issues that keep coming up, you know, when you speak to people? What are people more concerned about in this campaign?
Before I even go there, I have been telling my fellow candidates something. Most candidates are saying the same thing. They talk about crime, they talk about education, but it's just a word to them. I told them a while ago, I said, look, we talk about concrete. You need sand, you need cement, and you need gravels. But if you don't have the water, it's not going to happen. And what I'm seeing is the opportunity based on what you did and Romeo Pantoflet did when you all were in government, that you all set a policy in what you all would want to see, which you all gave me. I have a 120-page document that contains that in it. So it's not a question of I getting in to see what I'm going to do. We already have a program and a profile. I talked to people, and what I was able to tell them, I said, look, I am not coming to give you any promises. I am not coming to tell you that I'm going to give you anything. One person came to me at the casino in Maho and said, Arturo, I need a job. I said, no, you don't need a job. You need a business. You need to be an entrepreneur. You work in managerial position in Maho for so long, and now you're telling me you want a job? No. She said, you know something? I didn't think of that. People are coming to you and asking you, look, what is the future for our family? I cannot afford to give somebody a fish to eat for a day. I want to teach them to fish. And I know with the platform that we are putting in place right now is to make a difference for the people who have the ills and worries of them being a St. Martiner. And when I say a St. Martiner, if you are Dutch, you are St. Martiner. If you are, whether you were born in Curacao, Aruba, St. Martin, Dominica, Trinidad, Jamaica, if you carry a Dutch passport, what we are doing is in your interest and your children's interest. So based on what I have been told, people are saying to me, Arturo, what difference are all these people going to make? 90 people for 15 seats? I said, well, it's a pity we cannot just decide, well, look, who are the best? I said the only person could decide that are the voters. And what we are doing as National Alliance is letting you all realize that at the end of the day, if you really want to see things work in the interest of St. Martin, you have no choice. Give us the opportunity to get back in there and do what's right. And the reason is, when I see the other candidates from the other party is talking about that they need a change from two parties, how could you be in government and asking that you need a change? How you could be your leader is in parliament and you're talking about you need a change? You are in government. We are the ones that can make the change from who's in government right now. And that's what we are requesting. The opportunity for us to represent the people of St. Martin on the 29th of August. Give us your mandate and we will make a difference. I don't want nobody to look at me as Arthur the t-shirt guy, Arthur the music guy. Right now, I am fired up and I'm prepared to make a difference for St. Martin through the National Alliance.
And voters who are looking to vote for Arthur, which number they can find Arthur on?
587-9367. 587-9367. And I would like to say one thing to that. I have learned something from my leader of the National Alliance. Every time I call him, even when I was in Tallahassee, whether he's in a meeting or what, he calls back. And I'll tell you all something. If I miss your call, I'll call you back. And when you call me, I will not tell you talk to my secretary. I'll ask you, when do we meet? Do I come to you or do you come to me? Because I am in this full time. A mistake was made by doing what was done to me. And I think it was a plug to make me understand. But Arturo, yeah, I've been around politics for 47 years. And most people, when I come to St. Martin, will ask me, Arturo, everybody knows you. How come you're not a politician? I had no interest. But today, I eat it, I drink it, I sleep it. Sometimes I'm writing books in my head about where St. Martin will go in the near future if and when we are given the opportunity to take that reign and run St. Martin in the interest of St. Martin people. And I'll also say, voters out there, the people that don't want to vote for us because they are with the hype, with the up, when the football, soccer started, everyone had a Brazilian flag. They lost. Everyone then had a French flag. They lost. Then everyone had a Dutch flag. They lost. That hype that is out there with the up, they are also going to lose.
You've had it. Candidate number 22, Mr. Arthur Lugisse, contesting the parliamentary election on the slate of the National Alliance. Arthur, I want to thank you for speaking to the people of St. Martin straight and direct. I want to congratulate you for being a candidate on the winning team and look forward to joining hands with you as we continue going through the different districts. We have been in the district of Soccer Garden canvassing. We've been in the district of Middle Region. And some of the things that we have encountered are the many young people who are without a job, who are facing tough economic times because they can't find any gainful and permanent employment. So these are issues our candidates will be bringing you during the upcoming weeks remaining in this campaign. And as all have said, at the end of the day, on August 29th, we're asking you, the people, to support the National Alliance, support them like you've done in 2010, and support them like you've done never before. Give us, as Christopher says, take us straight to 8. Thank you for listening, and join us on August the 9th in Soccer Garden as we will be bringing you our first public meeting of the National Alliance in the Soccer Garden area at the entrance to the Keys. Thank you, God bless, and have a good night.